So what's going on, my people? It's your girl, V. Marie, once again with episode 4 of Spilling the Ink with my special guest, Mr. Elgen McFerren.
Special guest. I like
special guest. He already starting up, y'all. So that gives you a little insight on what you're in store for. So today, we'll be sharing how the mission leads to the ministry. And we're going to dig a little deep today.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go.
So I know you ready. But do you think the people ready?
Man, I think they got to be ready.
Okay. Hold on to your lace fronts, your edges, and your seat. We're about to get into it, all right? So first, let's get into what you do, Elgen. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
We got all these fancy titles, but truth of the matter, I just serve the people. I just stay consistent, but I am a professional speaker and certified coach, and I got there by way of the beauty and barber industry. So right now, I just serve the masses from motivation on to financial literacy. That's my mission and that's my purpose.
That's what we need too, beauty and barber. You know.
From the cradle to the grave, a man need a haircut and a shave.
That's
so
it.
It's a recession-proof business, man.
That part. So getting into that, did you always see yourself going into that industry? What led you there?
Man, I never really saw myself in the industry, period. Honestly, at this stage of my life, I didn't see myself outside of the hood, outside of the things that I was indulged in. So long story short, I was in like juvenile detention centers from 12 to 18 and 19, and I'm getting to, a shooting. I got shot myself, had to lay it down to some prison time. And so when I was coming home, I had cut my hair off and, took my gauze out of my mouth and et cetera. And the barber, who was my elder barber that was cutting my hair, he knew my whole story and saw my transition. So he was like, "Ed, what you gonna do with yourself?" And I was like, "Man, I want to be an attorney because truth of the matter, even though I was in and out of juvenile detention center, it's just typical hood stuff, fighting little weed here or there, but wasn't no extreme gangsterism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I went to prison for, I literally was innocent, but I didn't know how to read. I didn't understand the laws. It's like right now, if I were to slap you, the moment I turn my shoulder and you do anything to me, now you're the assailant and I'm the victim according to the laws and statutes. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, I became an assailant and a whole bunch of stuff, man. But anyway, my barber said, why don't you get a trade up under your belt? Because you want to go to school to be an attorney, that's a long ride. You got to get acclimated,
right.
So he took me down to the barber school. I walked around. They put clippers and things in my hand. I locked it. It felt like I heard angels sing or something, like I felt at home. And Mr. Savage, Michael Savage, he went in his pocket, paid up front and full for me to get started. Wow. And I never looked back.
Blessed.
As I always say, I never knew that God was going to endow me with a talent.
Right.
To attach to my gift, my ability to cut with my purpose to speak and communicate with people so that I can fulfill his purpose for my life.
And the power of communication in business, right?
Sure.
And growth in general, just communication. Tell us your journey when it comes to communication.
Man, I don't even know if it's a journey because I always felt like I've been this way. I just think that circumstances expose the individual to himself and others. So you really don't know until you're in certain situations. So the more I got put in certain situations, this skill set kind of, it protruded, it showed itself, So I don't really know how to say it was a journey unless you specifically talk to me.
When it comes to let's talk about the literacy. Let's go there with your story. You said that you had this gentleman who was your barber that told you to pursue this. How hard was it when it came to literacy on your path, on your journey? I got to overcome obstacles to even understand what the paperwork means, the applications, all of the research and information. So what made you hungry enough? We'll say it from that point of view.
I think desire was a starting point of achievement. You know what I'm saying? So I had the desire, but my motivation was, literally, I got shot. I was in less than 2 weeks out the hospital. I got in 2 shootouts while I was still stapled. Now, I'm 42 now. That was like 19. I got in 2 shootouts while I was still stapled up. The police came and got me for an investigation or something the next day while I was on bond for something. So my life was really, I was out of here. You know what I'm saying? God saw fit to see, to help me out or to give me a different vision. And so once I got the call in, I can't even explain it. You put me on blast. I really can't explain it. It was God. I just felt it.
I love that because we're going to move into that. Yeah. When it comes to God's influence on the direction, on the path, on the journey, when you were in the streets, what made you say, I got to have a turning point? Was it getting shot?
It was seeing the heartbreak on my mother. You know, because honestly, being in the streets, when you're actually doing those things, you from those environments, you really don't know necessarily what you're really doing, but you do. You see what I'm saying? When you get exposed to different things, because exposure creates expansion. So when I get exposed to books, when I got exposed to the autobiography of Malcolm X, when I started seeing people like John Mathis with similar stories, you know, excel beyond their hells, it was motivation to propel me towards mine. You know, so I just took the step to get disciplined. Because there's two types of pain. You got pain and discipline or pain and regret. I had the regrets and it was immensely painful. So now let me put pain in doing a few push-ups. Let me put pain in experiment with a vegan diet. You know, the gentleman who taught me how to read in prison, he exposed me to veganism. And it was hard because you didn't have those resources in there, right? And the purpose wasn't for religious reason. He said that if you can discipline what goes in your mouth, you can discipline what goes out of your mouth. You can discipline your sexual organs. You can discipline, et cetera, and et cetera. Like that. Because everything you do in life is going to be attached to some form of discipline. Everybody you see great, whether it's a great athlete, a great actor, a great person. Right. Anybody. They're that way because of their discipline. That's true. Discipline has multiple rewards. So if anybody trying to do anything, the first thing they should do is get disciplined. Yes,
most definitely. I agree. I have to pay homage to my father. My father was hard up down Marine Corps, and I grew up militant. So everything was straightforward, up early in the morning, keep your clothes and shoes clean, discipline. If you had a B, you needed A. If you have an A, you need honors. It was always that. He was zero tolerance, man. But moving out as a woman, having military discipline influence, it was zero tolerance when I hit unfamiliar territory. It was zero tolerance in business. It was a lot that came from that. So I love that you talk about the discipline that you have to apply to make the change. When it comes to the change, though, why do you think we as people, when it comes to the mission, the ministry, we can't have discipline? Why do we lack discipline? Is it because we can't really see the end goal clear? Is it because we don't care enough about ourselves? What's your outlook on why can't we build discipline as a people?
I think that we don't understand the severity of our purpose, and we haven't identified what our calling, because your decision is going to dictate your destiny as well as your discipline is going to create your future. You know, because we don't pick our habits. I mean, we don't pick our future. We pick our habits, and then our habits pick our future. Yes. That's around discipline. So I think that number one, the focus isn't there because of the importance isn't assigned to the task. Number two is I've never seen no one consistently behave in a way that's inconsistent with their self-image. So do they see themselves as great? Do they see themselves as important?
Did y'all take notes on that? Let's just wait, because he's going to keep rolling. That's just how he go. But did y'all take notes on that? Hit them with it again. What did you just say?
I've never seen no one consistently behave in a way that's inconsistent with their self-image. The way you see yourself is how you're going to function. So I can be homeless and see myself as a millionaire, hence Tyler Perry, and I become one. Or I can be a millionaire and not see myself rewarded with that type of royalty and end up in poverty. So it's all starts in your mind. What you think about, you bring about. You tripping. Come on, girl.
That was just good. You know when you eat a good meal, y'all? Listen, book coming soon. Another one coming. Yeah, speaking of books, tell us what's in the book that has already been published.
Well, the first one, I got a few, and I do a lot of ghostwriting for people as well. Can't speak on that based on contractual agreement. Well, however, the book, Secrets of the Six-Figure Barber. So what I did was I created the Secrets of the Six-Figure Barber, number one, because people look at a monetary value. So you got to get them in first. So they say about 6 figures because they saw the lifestyle. And I was doing this before it was even publicized that barbers could make that type of money from behind the chair. 6 figures is nothing but $273 a day.
If you break it down.
That's a few heads. You know, you get organized. You know how many, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I did it because people want money and think they have money and problems. But money is just an acronym that stands for my own natural energy yield. My own natural energy yield. Meaning that if you have a skill set, if you have a talent, if you have a calling, if you submit to that calling, it's going to produce fruit tenfold. So you don't have to worry. The reason why we don't have what we want or what we need is because we're not in our purpose.
That's it. We
say he betrayed me, she betrayed me. Man, I don't like him or her. But What about you betraying yourself every day? What about you lying to yourself every day? You said you were going to the gym, you didn't. You said you weren't going to spend that money, you didn't.
There go
You
that
come
lack
and
of
spend that
discipline.
money, but you say you want to become wealthy. That's a dichotomy. It's a real contradiction, because if your outcome exceeds your income, your upkeep going to be your downfall.
Again,
right?
You got
and then
it.
if you want, if your outcome exceeds your income, your upkeep gonna be your downfall. And one of my favorite quotes that kept me centered in adversity was T.D. Jakes. He said that when you follow your purpose, the profit will follow you. But if you run out of profit, you can run out of purpose.
He one of my favorites.
But that's a dichotomy again, right? Because hold on, if purpose bring profit, but if I chase profit, I run out of my purpose, then that means I'll be like a hamster on a treadmill. I never get it if I'm never within my purpose. But a lot of us don't know what our purpose is. Your ministry may be you're a great chef and you heal people through your food.
That's right.
Your ministry may be that you make people laugh.
Right.
Your ministry may be that you're good with words, so you can use it to empower people or devour people based on the frequency of your content.
That's it.
So we just have to identify. You feel it because the mango tree is inside the mango seed. It's already inside of you. But can you be in the right environment, under the right circumstances, then water and nurture, and that's how you flourish and properly cultivate. Makes sense? Because the only way you can rise out of dirty conditions, the only way you can get above the ground, just like a seed, you got to grow.
That's right.
So everything we have in our life now, we might as well pat ourselves on the back and applaud ourselves, because we are successful. We're not going to get nothing more or nothing less than where we are now.
That's
the only way we're going to get more, we got to grow into something and grow out of something.
Yes. And speaking on growth, you had a lot of reference points to everything organic, all things God give by nature. I always reference that, and even in scripture, it's the main analogy that Christ referenced when he's using all these euphemisms and parables to express himself to the people, right? So when it comes to planting, it's also knowing the different seasons that matter, as well as knowing where to plant, right? Some people looking for harvest in the wrong season. Some people moving ahead of themselves. Wintertime, we planting, and that's not when the soil is most fertile, right? So identifying where people are in their lives when it comes to the purpose, the call. How do you feel like you identify your seasons? I feel like a lot of my success, for instance, happened because not only God's going to open the door, no man can. So applying your faith, pursuing your mission, being clear on that, but knowing when to move. Knowing when to get in the room.
You have to pay attention to the signs, because warning come before destruction, signs come before blessings. So you got to be able to read the signs and the writing on the wall, and then you pivot accordingly. But the most important sign that we must do is our mindset. It's interesting that you reference the Bible or Jesus, where he talks about be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. So if I renew my mind, then I can then transform my life. Would you agree? But the problem is we try to receive new blessings with old structure. We can't receive new blessings with the same formality they put us here. How are we going to solve our problem with the same level of thinking, the same concept, the same frequency to produce our pain?
That's it.
It's insane and asinine.
That's
you
it.
see what I'm saying? And another reference with the Bible, not to be spiritual or anything, but I study all books, Torah, Quran, and etc.
This platform's about that life, though.
Okay, cool. You know, got to respect. You know, we in this don't counsel me, man. We in this counsel culture. But anyway, in the Bible, it talks about how don't put new wine in old wineskin. And let's go finish that. Let's what?
Go ahead. This your point.
Unless the old wineskin break, right?
That's right.
So what does that mean? What it means is, go ahead.
You cannot I go to Revelations and how you look at things and mindsets as well, just like old dogma of church. We couldn't come in and say, let's play these rap lyrics and y'all still on the old school organ. You already know it's going to be a conversation in the back of the church, or a woman coming in wearing all red. It's really about the standard, the revelations, the dogma, the principles. It's all types of things, but old and new. Just like he would always, referencing Christ, he would separate the Greek and the Jew. It was always a separation to say one can't be with the other, but we still show love to all, right? But when you put things together, new fabric, for instance, with old fabric, one is going to tear because one's from a different time than the other. One has been stretched. One has been worked out. The other one cannot. How do you combine the two?
Can't put new wine in old wineskin.
You can't. One will burst.
So this is the thing when they say can't put new wine in old wineskin unless the old wineskin breaks and the new wine spill on the floor. Mm-hmm. Okay, their wineskin represents or is representative of a container to hold the wine, right?
That's right.
So when you put the wine inside a container, you got to go through a process called fermentation. Mm-hmm. And when it goes through the process of fermentation, that container expands to its maximum capacity. Mm-hmm. There's no other room for more expansion. So now if I put new wine, they got to go through the same process into an old container that can't expand anymore, and it attempts to, it busts. Mm-hmm. And you lose all your productivity. So when we try to get a new marriage or a new relationship, a new business or a new job, a new child, then we got to shift our mind and put it into a new container. If not, we're going to lose everything because we refuse to improve everything.
Expand the capacity.
Yeah, expand your capacity, man.
And really identifying that too. Mm-hmm. How do you feel being aware of your capacity plays a part in being successful?
I think it's essential. Mm-hmm. And when we mean being aware of your capacity, what I learned is that capacity is a state of mind. That's why capacity starts with cap. You can cap yourself off and you won't even get a chance to explore the full city of your gift. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with me, I feel like the Lord is not going to put nothing on me that I cannot bear. So that means I must bear everything that the Lord put on me and understand that it is a process in order for me to progress. Mm-hmm. We cannot withstand, the pain of the purpose in order to get to the fruit, which one may call prosperity. Mm-hmm. Whatever that entails based on your personal definition. Mm-hmm. So I think understanding the process is essential because everything I thought that would break me literally was a breakthrough into something more beautiful. And long story short, your circumstance, it can be a ruler to the weak. Mm-hmm. But it's an instrument of the wise. Mm-hmm. So are you wise enough to see your circumstance and use it to empower you? Because circumstance is circumstantial. Mm-hmm. And circumstances come from the word circumference, meaning a circle. So you put yourself inside this circle, inside this prison. So if you want better life, then step outside of the circle and then your situation will also modify.
I always say you got to be careful about your circle because your circle will become your cage. Mm-hmm. And you just confirmed that in what you just said. A lot of things we hold on to trying to move into success, but we can't get there not recognizing it's the circle that's holding you back. This has become your cage, and then people don't know. Shout out to the book 6 Months to Six Figures because that opened my mind to so many things. Peter Voog was amazing with that book. He talks about how the average 5 people around you, the average of their pockets is your income. So I start looking at things different, like, okay, my friend over here. You gotta find some friends. So when you start looking at these dynamics, and especially you reference reading became an addiction to my life. When I realized all the knowledge is hidden in the books. They took it from us years and years and years and years ago.
I won't be here without it.
Took my brain and shifted it into, I believe that's where the unstoppable confidence kind of comes from. When you're aware, awareness itself is dangerous in the wrong hands. But you can really lead a nation, transform lives, build communities when it's in the right hands. And these books, the one thing, T.D. Jakes books, I stay in a T.D. Jakes book. Stay in a T.D. Jakes book. Right now I'm on Destiny. The things that's just been laid out. But when you look at that and you just see something as simple as that, looking at this circle, making sure the circle's not my cage, and anything I do see, I need you to tell the people, because I think men in today's time needs it from a man's perspective as to how do they stay committed to saying, I'm going to leave everything behind. Because, the young man's mindset is I'm going to look weak, I'm going to look fake, I'm going to look like I sold out. I'm going to feel like I turned on the people that was down for me. They have more love for the street that don't love them back, right? How can you help these young people especially stay committed to saying, I'm going to step out by faith alone to achieve something I don't even have a blueprint to? How can you help with that?
Number one, you got to find somebody that came from the same environment that did. It's a lot of successful ex-convicts and ex-street cats, to be true with you. And we love to help and pour back into the people. Second, again, your mindset, because it's not about leaving things behind. It's about moving forward.
That's right.
See the difference in
That's
the
right.
connotation of the wordplay?
Yes.
If I think about leaving things behind, I get like sad, I get discouraged. If I think about moving forward, it's a whole nother brightness and it's a whole nother, you just become exuberant. And if I'm moving forward, then I got to pass something. If I'm driving down Westheimer going to the Galleria, there's going to be things that's going to get put behind me as I pass forward that's now in the rear view. But I got the progress because it's this stage of growth called the deciduous stage, deciduous. And the deciduous stage is the process of shedding, right? So when your hair grows, it sheds. When trees grow, they shed. You know what I'm saying? So any growth is going to require some type of shedding. So we not worry about the things that shed on the outside because you can only shed the outside when you shed yourself from the inside. Meaning that the only reason I'm dealing with these people because I relate to them.
Right.
You remember what you just said? You're the sum total of 5 people you spend time with? But when I shift my mind, it's like when you no longer have impure thoughts, you no longer desire impure things.
That's it.
So when I stopped, man, blowing bud and all this stuff I was involved in, you know what I'm saying? It's like I couldn't even socialize with those same individuals. There was nothing to communicate about. So now my conversation is about finance. I'm attracting the banker. Now my conversation is about this and that. And those are things I'm attracting. And it's helping me get traction because I removed the distraction.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you take enough? I'm sorry. There you go. You caught it every time. Thank you.
You got to be careful with them distractions because a good thing ain't a God thing. So a lot of times, like with me personally, I know that I can't get tempted by women. I know I can get tempted by dope. Nothing on my path. I can't get tempted by past it. So my distraction is going to come in the form of something that look good or something that's beneficial that can take me in a whole other direction.
You talking? I teach about that too.
Beauty is
this
not
take
always,
me to Job. How Job had to be tempted because Job was so faithful to God. He knew.
His wife tried to get him cursed God.
He knew. And when the enemy came, it was like Boyd trying to ear hustle God conversation with his partners. God turned around and was like, go try Job because I know he not going to turn. But when Job got all worn down and he tried to fade out, it was his homeboys that came to him and was like, listen, you tripping. You the most faithful one. What's going on around here? But he was restored by faith, right? So I want you to tell when it comes to just a double back on what you just stated, because that was for you. My black men, my melanated men, that was for y'all. Because we gotta stop. We gotta break the dynamic. And I felt like you needed to say it because, of course, they're going to relate to you. But most importantly, we don't have enough men supporting men that have a platform. It's a lot willing to help, but they don't have a platform. So today, we had to make this happen because I know how powerful you are when it comes to speaking. But it's a certain community that I need to tune in to this episode, okay? So just saying that as a sidebar, it's got purpose. But when it comes to how you've applied faith, because all entrepreneurs, especially the generation coming up, everybody feel like they want to run everything. It's an entitlement, it's an audacity, it's a thing coming up. We've so far away from God, but God still has his hand on us at the same time. So with your faith being applied to your level of success, your consistency, your tenacity, your endurance, why and how did you choose, I'm going to ride this thing through, whether it was the gains and losses?
I think that everything you've been through prepared for you for where you at. So I feel like I can gang, bang, but choppers in broad daylight, sell, poison to my people, then why can I have that same audacity when come towards accomplishing my goals? So if I wasn't afraid of a bullet or I wasn't afraid of risking my life or something, a little small rock, then why I can't risk my life for God and put my all into it. And when we talk about those distractions again, a lot of things come in beautiful forms. So you got to be careful because you'll sit back and just daze in amazement and end up getting pickpocketed out of your purpose. So we have to, the faith is like when I started going through dark times, honestly, I felt like I was getting closer because God always strip you down before he build you up.
That's right. Every time.
Always. He got to
Every
make
time.
you strong for the platform that you asking
Yep.
for. So when you say, God, I want more patience, well, that patience may just come in a situation where you got to experience pain.
You better talk.
God, I want to get more money. Well, first you got to make you broke and go through
That's
some stuff so
it.
you can learn how to properly manage the finances, because anything you mismanage, you will lose.
Mm-hmm.
And how can you grow things if you don't have it?
Mm-hmm.
So the first stage of growth is awareness, number one. I had to be aware of where I'm at, my strengths, my weaknesses, my flaws, who with me, who against me, because ain't no in between. It's boy, girl, black, white, ain't no gray area.
Mm-hmm.
So pick a side. I had to be aware of where I'm at, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to have a vision and project myself forward of what I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle is everything I must give up
That's
to
right.
go up,
Strip it
and
down.
everything I must do to become it.
It's an
You know what I'm
assessment.
saying?
It's definitely an assessment. And it's funny because when you try to ignore, for those he choose, he correct. And in every circumstance of God correcting me through this journey of growth, it's always something that I'm thinking, and it kills me when we think we can hide something from God. I ain't got to work on that right now. No, it's not too bad. No, I can get to that later. Or no, or we make an excuse and try to rectify it to put it into the righteous cup.
Man, if you got a calling on your life, you can't get away from it.
You can't get away from it at all.
If you don't be obedient, man, God gonna tear everything up to force you
He'll
towards
strip
it.
you
It's
down
like
to nothing.
I'm talking about he gonna remove relate. Like you think that's your husband, your wife here, man. Let me get them
Let
out the
me
way.
get
Everything.
everything.
Like he really gonna push you towards your purpose, and then looking back, once you get exposed, it's like, wow, man, I understand, Lord.
Hindsight.
You know what I'm saying?
But the only way we gonna go back to him is if we go through it.
Yeah.
We get too comfortable with thinking we run something.
I think that's a lot of our problem too. We go through things like, and to go through it is like a repetitive cycle. You know, you go through jail in and out. You go through abusive relationship in and out. But can we grow through it?
Yes.
You know, so we got to put our mindset and really focus on growing intentionally. When I was 2, I grew to 5. My teeth naturally fell out, my ankles, and et cetera. But as an adult, growth is not going to come to me unless I'm being intentional. And I think another problem why we get confused with people trying to transition from the street or people trying to transition to business is we try to be it instead of trying to become it. You cannot be anything, but you can become it. Imagine if a caterpillar was trying to be a butterfly. He seen his friends fly from flower to flower, and he can crawl on his ground with a hairy back. He gonna get jealous and almost suicidal. But if he go through the process and indulge in his cocoon and go through the metamorphosis, he can come out a beautiful butterfly and can soar to heights and levels he couldn't in his past state because he indulged and immersed himself in a transformative process. Makes sense?
Oh, it makes perfect
It
sense.
ain't gonna come by chance.
Right.
It's gonna come through change.
Right. And the more you fight it, the more you resist it, the more he takes away.
gonna
He
get beat up.
definitely, when you don't want that fight.
My grandma used to say, son, your arm too short to box with God.
Okay. And that's true. Now that's factual. Okay. We can't do it like him. Mosiah, time, check.
30 minutes.
Okay, good. So we got 15 more.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, and you already know, delete that part. John, tell John delete that
Can I
part.
just get a quick little behind the scene about? With my phone, whenever you.
Yeah.
He ain't throwing you off, is it? I'm talking about
I'm sorry, because that can't look. We both got brains that do a whoop whoop, and then
just while we speak, you
can add maybe 2 more tasks to me. That's one of my brains.
look. That's when it stopped. Messiah say that's when it's
just so I
up.
can post a little behind the
I
scenes.
appreciate you, man, because I know it felt like we had it good. So I don't know why I'm starting to get the flow of when I hit 30 minutes. That's good because at first I didn't know what to do with that.
Now we got 10 minutes.
It was too much. Don't play with me, okay? Because I'm going to just take 10 from my son. It's all right. So when it goes back into, we left off on faith and applying faith to being able to stay consistent. Give a little insight on what, and going back to the youth, but this can go for anybody, what to expect when it goes to the uphill and downhill as you're growing. Because what I've noticed as a coach to entrepreneurs, and you are a coach as well, a lot of them, that's why I started attaching personal development. We talked about discipline, but the commitment, they can't stay commitment when it gets hard, when they start seeing financial investments start to plummet, when even the impact of family not supporting. It's like a mental situation helps where they go into the shell or they go into the inner child trauma or whatever. They get triggered to a point where they can't stay committed. How do you express, just giving a few examples of what you've seen personally in entrepreneurship where it was a low time and you made your way out of that low time? Because people don't give that insight.
You always make your way out of it. I think the problem is we look at the package of success and we don't read the label. We don't read the ingredients. Because if you look at the back of success at the label, you will see hardships. You will see financial difficulty.
Like
you will
1,000%.
see betrayal. You will see, mental crushes and contradictions and self-doubt. But those are all magnificent ingredients to produce the life that you want if you can stay immersed in the process. You got to keep going. All that is propelling you forward. It makes you stronger and tougher because hard trials are necessary to establish truth. What truth? Truth that you are great. Truth that you have a purpose. Truth that everything that you're currently experiencing is going to give you the experience you need to help others. Because if I want to get where I want to go, I got to help other people get where they're trying to go. And the reason why it's so imperative to be disciplined and be obedient to your purpose is because your purpose, your obedience to your purpose is tied to 1 million of people's destiny.
That's right.
Imagine if Tyler Perry wasn't obedient. Madison, anybody you can name.
That's right.
It can be Thomas Edison. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody.
Their obedience is tied to millions of people's destiny. And another thing, if you ever want to know who you need to help, just help who you used to be.
That's it. That's it. Everybody's audience is a part of themselves. That's why you draw who you draw when you're authentic. And that's the other part about business where people come short because they are promoting and selling something that is not authentic. So people can't commit to the brand because we don't see the real you.
500 pounds selling weight loss pills. No disrespect.
That sounds like that was personal right there. He felt that within his spirit. But they playing out here. Is this, did they mean to post that? It must be a slideshow. We gonna wait. Nope, it stayed right there. Saved. Okay, all right. We sorry, y'all know, but we're not. It's real that the people not keeping it real. So people can't commit to that. But you are true. That's true. Help who you. I always say it to my coaching program and going back to these people we coaching, the foundation of structuring the mission, the ministry. When you are consistent, when you're diligent, but most importantly, clear. The clarity of knowing who you are is what's missing in a lot of people. So on your journey, can you say you always knew who you wanted to be? You always had a sense of self?
I always had. I was 5. I can call my mother right now. I was 5 years old, and I was having visions of me speaking in front of large crowds. The problem was I had ADHD. I was bad as hell. I stuttered. I got kicked out of school starting in kindergarten. And so the environment wasn't conducive to the vision I saw, so it made me have insecurities. It made me doubt myself. But the whole time, now as I'm starting to get in trouble, go to prison, juvenile, get into fights, the whole time God showed me who I was, and now he's conditioning me with the tools that I need to be attractive to my target audience.
That's it.
And so now I'll be able to show what I did. I can raise my shirt, so bullet wounds. I can pull my street records. I can do. Now I'm qualified to connect with the people. Versus me just talking like this without a story. Who is this square? I don't hear him. He ain't been through what I've been through. So everything that you go through is literally preparing you for what you ask God for.
That's
but
right.
Can you have faith? Because you really can't have faith unless you're going through something that make you fearful. Unless you're going through something that look like you're about to lose it all. That's where it kick in. And when you decide who you are, you know who's not for you. What I decided is when I begin to compromise, like, well, babe, what you think about this? Or, hey bro, what you... I don't know what I really have until I make a definitive decision and say, this what I'm finna do.
That's it.
Then you see she ain't the girl you thought she was.
That's
she ain't
it.
support with you. My homeboy slick jealous. You put your goal in your mind. You be like horses with a blinder on. And you make sure that every step, every deed, every conversation, every relationship is in the direction of your goal, and you will attain it.
That's it right there. That's it right there. It's crazy how we say a lot of the same things, but I think it's because the journey is so parallel. Coming from hardship, it conditions you for everything you need in this success game. I even talk about the hustle game. I'm like, y'all think you don't have the skill you need to make it. When really all you just got to do is apply it to a different industry.
Man, I remember when I came home to older gym, I tried to get in the shop for a while. I didn't get in a barber shop while I was still in school, but it was development. So I had to work somewhere while I was getting the construction and stuff together. Mm-hmm. And the old head, he was like 22 years my senior. I really admired the man. But he was trying to tell me stuff like, man, you don't need no B in the car, man. You just word him out. First of all, brother, I'm going to do what I choose to do. I'm an independent contractor. I don't work for you. Second of all, I flip my hustle. So when I was a young kid, we were selling bugs, we would be at the store. Hey, bro, I got that good. I do the same with the B in the car. Hey, how you doing? You mind if I share my gift with you? And I let them know. Or when we were selling crack, I don't endorse that at all.
Public service announcement.
At all. You know what I'm saying? Part of the process. It's part of the process.
Okay.
I don't endorse it.
This man is saved, redeemed by the Lord.
Don't endorse it.
Okay, he does his taxes. All right? Come on. Tell the people.
So...
But when you were
I don't endorse that because, buy a lot, crack cocaine, AIDS, all that stuff is
right. It's
biological warfare.
It's real.
We under attack. But I can go so deep with that. But anyway, and what I was saying? Okay. That's like when I was you in the street, you selling dope, right? You give the fiend, the men we call them cones. I'm from Memphis. So when you get a cone, you get a fiend, you give him a wake-up call, give him a little piece of crack or something, you get him up. And so when he does get a check, you run across some money, he remember you. It's the same thing I did. So people like, man, I ain't getting nobody no free haircut. I'm coming to you like, hey, probably see my share my gift with you.
That's it right there. Look, I'm getting hyped because it's real.
They like your gift. Look, I don't mean no harm, sir. I'm a professional barber. God gave me a magnificent gift. I would love to share it with you.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I'll cut you for free.
That's how it works.
And if you don't like it, I'll pay you.
That's how it works.
Who finna turn that down?
Listen, that was game, y'all.
Who finna turn that down?
My business owners and my street guys, women, business owners, listen.
This is what I want to say to the business owner, right? When you go pass out business cards, and when you just go solicit business, you are soliciting business. You begging. I'm not trying to beg you to come to my business. I got to qualify for you to experience the experience. So I got to pour something into it first. So for me saying, hey, come to my shop, come buy this from me. No, give free game first. Deposit something to the people. You know what I'm saying? If you show, because this is the thing, right? You have people that already got a desire of what they need. They got questions. And if you are a living solution to their problem, then they're going to gravitate towards you. You're not going to have to sell anything. And if you're afraid about giving free game, you're afraid about helping people, you must don't know enough.
Okay. No, but for real. That was $1 million sauce right there. That Messiah. That was a whole master class. Y'all don't even have any idea. I teach that behind the scenes. He gave it to you for free 99. Listen, that's the realest game you can ever give a person to understand. Not only flip the hustle, but give the taste test. You gotta give the teaser. The lead magnet come in different forms.
You gotta give them something.
You gotta give it to them so they'll know it's that good. I tell my mentees, you gotta make them think about you when you're not even around, in they sleep. They need to wonder when can I hit the link again? I'm running out of the product. Freak them out. It need to be that good. I love showing up on live because anytime that little green light come on, there are people coming in. I was waiting for you. I did my job if you've been waiting for me. So I love what you said. Okay, listen, y'all. If y'all want Mr. Elgen back, I need y'all to comment on this episode, okay? This one is how we mastering the mission and the ministry. So make sure you stay tuned. Elgen, tell the people where they can find you.
Man, on IG it's Elgen Mac, ELGENMACK. Facebook, Elgen McFerren, and my website is elgenmcferren.com. So it's ELGENMCFERREN.com.
And if they want to make money in the beauty and barbering industry by following along with your book, is it on Amazon?
Yes, it is on Amazon.
Most definitely. So it's your girl, V. Marie, coming to you once again with another awesome episode of Spilling the Ink with our special guest, Mr. Elgen McFerren. And we are out, you guys. Love and light. Till next time. Peace.
Peace out.